And just, all right. Here we go.
I started recording, but you should start recording too. Did you start recording, Jessica?
I can also start recording.
Okay.
So we have multiple recording. Okay. So I want to welcome everybody today to this Repair Cafe hosted out of Lund and Malmö. I have also some of my co-hosts here from the Repair Cafe in Malmö. I have Ulf and Hannes here that I can see in the list already, and some more will be joining us as we go along. If they want to wave, if you have the gallery function, you can see everybody. If not, you're going to see just one person in the speaker view pinned. Now, a bit about what we're going to be doing today. Today is a special day. It's International Repair Day, which is the reason why we wanted to have a big event and show this international cooperation. This is not actually our first time cooperating. We've had several of these events with Fixit Clinic, both out of Malmö and out of different locations. So Wayne is here. He's hosted a few out of Boulder. We've had a few out of Massachusetts and all around the United States. And we often have friends from around the globe joining us. So thank you and welcome all today. In the chat, you'll find a Z maps that you can add a marker to, and we'll see how global we are in today's event. And I'm going to start at the beginning on the theme of the International Repair Day this year, which is repair is essential. And I'm going to talk a little bit about one reason why repair is essential. And I'm going to talk about critical raw materials. Now, the first thing that I want to ask you is what you know about critical raw materials, and maybe about what you know of critical raw materials in an item most of us have, a smartphone, and which critical raw materials you know to be in a smartphone. So I ask you a question here. And let's see, which critical or what critical raw materials are you likely to find in a smartphone? All right, I'll give you another 10 seconds. Trying, oh, I see you.
I lost the screen.
Here it goes.
Okay. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, let's see what we think here. Okay, so I see a lot with lithium, plastic, tantalum, potash, interesting, and gallium, natural rubber, antimony. Okay, well, let's take a look at what critical raw materials are, and at the end we'll see how right we are with these. Okay, what I'm gonna do is share a little presentation right now. And let's make sure that we can see it. Can everyone see my screen?
And Wayne, you should mute all because we've got a lot of people who are coming up. So mute all and then unmute Jessica, I guess, or something.
Okay.
Are we all muted? I still see a lot of people. Can we, someone who's not muted, say that they can see my screen?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, perfect. Okay, here I go. Can you hear me? Okay,
Yeah.
Good. All right. So critical raw materials are one reason why repair is essential, but let's take a look at what critical raw materials are and then figure out which ones are in our phones. Okay. So critical raw materials, let's see if I can get it to change. So we have a lot of different kinds of elements in our phone, a lot of which you identified there. There are plastics. There definitely is lithium, where maybe we've heard about the lithium batteries, lithium-ion batteries. And there are a lot of other materials in here, some of which are classified as critical and some of which are maybe not so critical unless you are a phone producer, let's say. So this is a schematic of what we can see of different elements in a smartphone. But these are actually the ones that are classified as critical raw materials. Now the list, which you can see in bold brown, are lists of critical raw materials in both the US and the EU. The red are also critical raw materials in the US, but not in the EU. And the blue are critical raw materials in the EU, but not the US. And so one thing that you can understand from the beginning is that critical raw materials matter where you are and who's doing the assessment, from what viewpoint. Because we have a couple of different ways that critical raw materials are assessed as being critical. So those ways, let's look at, again, the elements in a smartphone, which ones were on those lists. The ones that are circled were on those lists. So a lot of people thought plastics. Yes, plastics are definitely in your phone, but not a critical raw material, as deemed by these lists, which I'll get through how those lists are made in a couple minutes. We also had some other materials there that you saw, like natural rubber, and you're thinking maybe that's not on my phone. Well, it could be in your casing, but natural rubber is a critical raw material, but not generally in your phones. We also have an idea of what the critical raw materials can be in a variety of different products. Now, what makes a material critical? Part of it is that there's some kind of supply risk to that material. It could be that a lot of the material comes, or the mineral comes from one country. As you see here, one country that a lot of the materials that were on those lists come from is China. So you see a lot there. We also have different areas where there might be a large concentration, and then that means that there can be bottlenecks in the supply chains for that material. Why there are supply chain conflict or supply chain bottlenecks can also be due to conflicts. We also have what are called conflict materials, but some of these are critical and some of them are not. It depends on how many alternative supply chains there are. Part of what makes it a conflict mineral could be that there is not transparency in the supply chain. So even though there might be lots of different places you can get the material from, a lot of the places could be coming from areas of conflict. And that's what we think of with gold. Increasingly, it's looking like mica might be on a list. Again, that's not a critical material, but might be a conflict material where you can't be sure that it doesn't come from a conflict area. But then there are some where there's overlap between conflict and critical materials like tantalum, tin, tungsten, and cobalt, which is due soon by many legislators seem to be the next to be added to as a conflict material by legislation. So watch out for these, and a lot of companies are dealing with these conflict minerals, both as critical to their supply chain management, but also as trying to be more transparent in the supply chains for this. And this is in electronic supply chains mainly. What else makes a material critical? The economic importance. So when I talked about there's different materials, whether it's on a US list or an EU list, part of that is also which economy we're talking about and what is manufactured or made or important, deemed important. It's made by a panel of experts, deemed important to that economy. So we see that there's a lot of materials that are tracked, but not all of them make the list. This is the EU list. And at the bottom, it's very small there, but we see potash, which is on the US, but not making it an economic importance on the EU list there. Also, what can make a material critical? I talked about there's a US like national list, there's an EU regional list. There can also be lists for different sectors too. So we have renewable energy, and electric cars, and they can also have critical materials, some of which are on those lists because of sustainable development goals, but can also be additional materials that they know they need to make these technologies. It can also be on a company list, so different companies. So nickel is not on any of those lists, but it's very important to some companies like Tesla that are saying they're gonna design out cobalt, one of the critical raw materials, and instead have more nickel in their batteries. They're gonna need to source a lot of nickel. And again, they want it to be responsible sourcing so that you don't get into the conflict minerals scene as well. So what can you do about it? Well, we see some companies, this is Apple's different strategies here. We can responsibly source new materials, new mines, or mines outside of where we know conflict is happening. Again, that requires actual knowing supply chains and transparent supply chains. There can be designing out of materials. So just as Apple is doing, like getting rid of arsenic, getting rid of beryllium in some of their products, And they're also buying recycled materials. And I say buying recycled materials, they are recycling materials as well, but not enough to actually make all of the products that they're selling. So they're also buying from markets. So sometimes it's recycled and it's not what we're thinking of when we think recycling. It's not coming from old phones and going into new phones for Apple, but it might be coming from like waste from a mining production, and then it's recycled from that. So when we hear recycling, there's different parts of the value chain where it could be recycled from, not always from the post-consumer products. When we think of old phones, it's generally not coming from that. There just isn't enough happening in that recycling of these kind of products because we see very small amounts. So now if I show that same picture of that smartphone from before, these same elements, in red, you can see the ones where there's less than 1% recycling of those elements, of those materials. We do have good recycling for materials that we are used to using in our products and we're used to recycling. So we're very good at recycling gold, aluminum. We're getting better at recycling cobalt and some of these materials, but we are still very poor at recycling, let's say, rare earth elements and lithium and some of these other newer materials that we're using in products. We still are developing those recycling practices to make sure that it can be to scale. So what can we do while we're waiting for recycling to catch up and to develop as a source of these materials? And that's where repair comes in, using our products that have these critical raw materials longer. So something we've been doing with Repair Cafe Lund is also using some of those materials that I just showed you in our repair cafes when we have people that maybe aren't there to repair, but are just dropping by to take a look at what is repair about, which a lot of you are here today just to see what is repair about and what are we doing in repair cafes. This is the type of activity we might have to give an idea of what repair can lead to and why it's important for society. We also have cards that we developed with the Restart project. So on the right, you can see cards with these critical raw materials and then different components that they can come in. So we have a torn down phone and we also have non-torn down phones that can be taken apart and put back together. But as you take them apart, we encourage you to match the component to the material that is in that component and just learn about what kind of materials are in our different products. So that is my short presentation about why repair is essential. I'm going to stop sharing now, but I want to also point out to you on that last slide, maybe I share one more time, that we do have all of these different resources on the Restart page as well. So I'm going to share that link in the chat while we're presenting so that if you do want to use these kind of resources, either in education or more information for yourselves or in your own repair cafe, that's what we developed them for. So I'll share that link in the chat. But right now, I'd like to get into the presentations of people that came to repair and to make their resources last longer today. So are we ready? I think we'll start with Cole. Are you ready to present your keyboard to us today? And what is the problem? We're going to do a short presentation, just what is the problem? And then after we go through all the presentations, we'll go into breakout rooms and really delve into the details of repairing that product.
All right. Yeah, I got it's actually my friend's keyboard. She found it at a pawn shop, I think, and it just looks like a really fun little keyboard to play. Initially, when you went to turn it on, I think what would happen is you'd hear kind of a little like little thing to make it sound like it was turning on. And then me and my dad opened it up, and I think we accidentally disconnected whatever. We disconnected something, so now it's not even making that sound. But I made a little note on the back, and battery connections, wires ripped out, needs resoldering. So I think that's what we ripped out by accident. And yeah, so yeah, basically it's just not making any sound is a big problem, and we don't know why.
Okay, we might have a few comments from some of the volunteers here just as a first round. Anybody want to ask any questions?
There's a video on YouTube about how to take that apart and put it back together. I don't know whether that'll help you. It'll show you what's inside of it at any rate. obviously if the battery wires are disconnected, they need to be reconnected.
Yeah,
You
that's
won't be
quite the hat.
able to do any troubleshooting unless there is power to the board.
Sorry, what was that last thing you said?
You won't be able to do any troubleshooting unless the battery connections are connected properly, because if there is no power to the board, you cannot troubleshoot it.
Right. I think we know how to resolder that because we ripped that out ourselves by accident. So that's just like a quick thing. But the what? The solder joint was okay. Yeah, there was power. Like when you turned it on, you could hear it kind of making a sound, but then the keys wouldn't play. But I've seen that video you're talking about, and it was informative in the sense that it kind of showed what it looks like on the inside. But I just don't really know how to troubleshoot at all. So I kind of didn't really know where to begin.
Yeah, I looked for schematics on that unit, but I couldn't find any. So you probably, in terms of troubleshooting it, if you have some idea of what it's doing, you might be able to go through and find out where the problem is, but I couldn't find a schematic on it. So that slows things down significantly.
Yeah, but they've already opened it up once. Isn't there a loose wire or something that they can, it might be as simple as looking inside for a single wire just dangling in space, right? And figuring out where that goes. So,
I think we looked for something like that and there wasn't anything too obvious, I think. But again, I'm a total beginner, so maybe I just missed something. I don't know.
So we just traced the power through the off switch, and we had power through the on-off switch.
So just a sort of a random comment on synthesizers and things. While we love to fix things, sometimes repair events end up repurposing things. And that particular synthesizer is a favorite for what people call circuit bending. So there are people who go there and solder random wires, things and such things to make it make different noises. So there's a link to that. So there's some documentation from the circuit benders like, ooh, here's a good pin to play with. So just to keep that in mind if you want to make this into something wacky.
That's funny you say that. I actually have a friend who is building his own guitar pedals, and he does that. He adds all these random little switches and knobs and stuff to give it these different effects. So I've seen that. That's cool. I've seen those.
Cool. Well, in the breakout room, we'll get there.
I've got something to add. I have this friend who made a drum set out of vegetables. Yeah. No, he connected like sound equipment and like wires and everything to like leeks and some celery and all sorts of stuff like that, red onions and stuff. So you could actually play drums on vegetables.
Very economical, one-time use.
That was so much fun.
Okay, speaking of repurposing, so we got some ideas.
Yeah.
Okay, so keep in mind, Cole, that you might be going into a breakout room with dual objectives, fixing or repurposing, but it sounds like this is a challenge for those of you repairers out there. So we hold on and we're going to put a breakout room and we're going to go through what might be a slow troubleshooting turned into a repurposing exercise. We'll see. So stay tuned for Cole's. Next up, we have Kathy from the Bay Area presenting 2 items to us today. Kathy, are you there? You can, let's see, we'll ask you to unmute and present.
This is so cool. Thank you all for taking a look at these 2 items. My siblings and I were recently going through my parents' garage and we uncovered this amazing radio. We actually don't know the history of it. We don't know if it was our grandparents, but there's an interesting little fix already done to it. If you look on the side here, there's a little hole cut and there's this little tube that you can turn. I think that's controlling the channel. What happens when you turn it on after a few minutes, you can hear it turn on, but all you can really hear is kind of like buzzing. even with turning this knob, I can't really get a station to come up.
Okay.
So that's that item. The sewing machine is.
Wait, let's
our-
stay with that for a minute. Let's stay
Yeah.
with that, and then we'll go on to
Yep.
the sewing machine.
We might have some questions about the
Yeah.
radio, and then we can go to the sewing machine and ask questions about the sewing machine.
Okay.
So Kathy, a knob just fell off the front. So what were the
Yes.
two knobs on? What were the two knobs supposed to do? Because I'm surprised the tuning knobs on the side.
Well, I think this tuning knob on the side was a hack to fix these knobs that possibly are stripped.
The left-hand knob is the volume control. The right-hand knob, which just fell off, is the tuning device. And the tuning happens through a pulley system that turns, when you are turning this knob, it will have a sort of a cording inside, and it will turn the pointer.
Okay, Frank, too much information for the main room. Let's bring
Okay.
that to the breakout.
All right, but you asked the
but this
question.
Yeah, no, this is an old tube radio. Obviously, I mean, these tubes could not be working. It could be as simple as she just needs an external antenna. It's AM. So that maybe that's why it's not making noise. So
Yeah, it's a 4-tube radio. And they have, the first front end tube is a 6A7.
okay,
And-
Bill, too much information for the main room.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's lots to look at here. And anybody else have any high level questions about this sucker before we move it into a breakout room?
Yeah, we're gonna have to send her down to the corner Radio Shack to use the tube tester. And while she's there, she can pick up a 5-cent Hershey bar.
Okay, Kathy, let's see the sewing machine now.
Okay. The sewing machine, we know a lot more about. I come from a family of 6 children, and my mom sewed all of our clothes, along with all of her clothes, as we grew up. It was, as far as I know, it was in functioning shape. My dad did add a motor to it many, many years ago. It was all put together. I took it into a sewing machine shop to make sure that I wasn't going to break it by using it. And when I didn't get the machine back for a year, I contacted the shop, and they gave it back to me in pieces. Here's kind of what was given back. So this assembly here was all intact, and now I've just kind of got pieces. So I don't know if I can repair it.
Do you have the screws also in that tray? I cannot see it.
There are a couple of screws.
Okay.
It doesn't, well, I hope they gave me all the parts.
Yeah, okay.
I took apart my tension so we can walk through putting the tension together.
Okay.
I have visuals for that.
Oh, okay.
So Kathy,
Yeah.
most important question for you, which one do you want to work on first? Because that's a logistical thing. So we can
Yeah.
put you in the breakout room.
Well, I guess which one do you think there's more likely chance to fix it?
Oh, which is more fun for you?
Sewing machine.
Sewing machine. Okay, let's do the sewing
See,
machine.
That's more likely that you can get it fixed up.
CC's already fixing it
CC
remotely.
here today, yeah.
Yeah.
So you should take advantage of having a real expert in the room here.
Yeah, there's
Alright.
quantum entanglement between her sewing machines and every other sewing machine in the planet, so she's good.
Yeah, not that I think we also have some that want to really work on this radio too. So we'll see how long we go tonight or today, depending on where you're joining us from. But yeah, we have a lot of experts joining us today. So we, as you heard at the beginning, actually are optimistic about both of these items.
Yay.
So yes, but I will say that we have these repair events often. We try to have them like once a month and hosted at different places. Peter is coordinating them. So if you don't fix an item today, it can be fixed. You can come back again. And speaking of which, we have somebody who's coming back with us. Cindy is going to be coming up later, and she is coming a return as well. But before we get to Cindy, Thank you for presenting, Kathy. We're going to go to Patrick.
Wait. I
next.
also want to give a shout out to Nick from the UK who emailed Kathy before this. And Nick is also somebody who has sewing machines and quantum entanglement with other sewing machines on the planet. So you have global resources available to you, all focused on your devices today. And that's a rare thing to be able to have happen.
Wow.
So,
Thank
And not
you.
to mention, Kathy, we are both in the Bay Area, so if
Oh,
you have
Yeah.
Wonderful.
give your hands on, we helped out somebody. We went to somebody's house last time and helped them out and got them on the road.
okay.
That's
And
true.
Jessica, Susan also checked in with her Susan's also here. So if I didn't know if
Oh,
you were trying to
good.
go down the list, but I noticed her
Yep.
that she's here too.
I have queued Patrick and Susan. If you're out there, I haven't found you on the list yet, but I will find you, and you're after Patrick then, and then we'll get to Cindy, our returner, at the end after we get to the new presentations. Okay, Patrick. Thank you, Kathy. Patrick next.
Yeah, thank you. I'm really excited to be here. So I fancy with my camera, and I hope it works. So there we go.
Uh-huh.
All right.
Yep.
So this is the thing. I got it from a neighbor, and it wasn't working when I got it. I just got it because I have a friend who used. So when I first got it, it had inside here, this was all, the bird grinder was all gunked up with oil, coffee oil. So I think something happened with the motor, but I'm not 100% sure. I started taking it apart to test it out, but I'm not that good at electronics. So I just need some advice in terms of maybe testing the motor or testing just to see where it's at. And I think another thing that's kind of confusing about it is that there aren't really screws to get the top part off. It's sort of like anti-fixable type of thing. Like these are little plastic pieces. But anyways, I think there's a way to get inside here. I'm just not sure. So if anybody has any advice about that.
I'm sorry,
that'd
I
be
missed
great.
if you said it, but what is the problem with it as far as is it not working?
It won't turn on. It won't spin. The motor won't spin.
Okay.
So
Good. Thank you.
Does it hum by hand?
does it hum? That's a good question. I can plug it in right now and see.
Does the shaft spin by hand when it's off?
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
Hmm.
And the humming, let's see.
Okay, so anybody else have any other questions?
We're going to help you find the bad thermal fuse. I have
Okay.
lots of them.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And I think,
Okay.
I don't
Sounds
hear,
like we have some ideas.
I don't hear it humming, but yeah.
Okay. Next up, we have Sue. Sue, are you out there?
Hi.
Hi. All right. You're ready.
All right. So here it is. Here's my Vornado fan. And it was working. I had it for about maybe 3 or 4 years, and it was working great. And one day it just stopped. So I'm not quite sure what's wrong with it. I was able to find some, I'm able to get these screws off, but not these. So these are deeply embedded within the plastic. And I don't have anything that small or that, you know, it's even hard to even see the screw. So I haven't tried to take it apart yet. I'm not very handy myself. So I thought, you know, I'll wait for the breakout room to try to get a sense. I did some searches online and was seeing if anybody else had problems with these fans. And these are actually really good fans. So I'm surprised that it stopped working.
Yeah, I had the problem with mine right here. The wire inside gets all gunky and breaks off sometimes. And so that might be the easiest fix.
Okay. And I'm in Boston, by the way. So other coast of most people in the US, apparently.
Yeah. But there's a repair cafe. There's a few in Boston. So
have been to a few in the Boston area. Yeah, when we were still having in-person events.
Yep, and they've been hosting the virtual as well. So yes, we're from all over the US here. Do we have any other comments on the fan? Otherwise, we will take more in-depth troubleshooting in the breakout room with you, Sue.
Does that fan have a fuse in the plug?
A fuse in the plug. Let's see. I don't think so. I think the plug is just your very basic, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't see anything.
Yeah, some of them have a fuse in there.
No.
Might have one hidden in there.
I mean, there is, whoops, I didn't mean to do that. There is, this opened up. So
That's a fuse in there.
okay. Well, there you go.
Yep.
Great call, Bill.
All right, sounds like there's something to troubleshoot then in the breakout room. Okay, thanks for sharing, Sue. And thanks for joining us today from Massachusetts, from Boston. I'm just gonna see if there's a couple others that signed up, if they're in here, because often we have people that sign up and then come in with somebody else's account or different names. We had Aisha with a brush and a lamp. And I'm just checking if you are out there.
I'm here.
Okay, you're here as Anna. Okay.
Yeah, it's my middle name. Yep.
Okay, perfect. Are you ready to present and show us what you brought?
Sure. So I think my video's on. So I have this, it's an outer space themed lamp that I bought from Etsy that was for my son's bedroom.
If you get rid of your virtual background, sometimes it's going into the background. Yeah. We'll actually be able to see it better if you can.
This is the kid.
Yeah, it's okay for us. Yeah, I can see it now. When you hold it in front of you, it's
okay. I'll just do that because it'll take me longer to figure out how to turn the background off. So you know, it had a special size lamp. It was made in Spain, and I replaced the lamps, and it's not working at all, and it's basically essentially new.
Okay. Any questions? Any ideas?
Is that a standard bulb for US?
No, it's
oh, it's in the background. Okay, it's an LED filament lamp.
Okay.
C35.
Cannot see it. Your virtual background is messing it up completely.
I know. I have to.
Under video. Yeah.
Yep, I got it. Okay.
Perfect.
There we go.
Perfect. Yeah.
Show it to us.
And then I don't know if you guys saw the switch function here. I thought maybe there would be some sort of issue in here with.
Can you show us the base of the lamp?
The base?
The base of the bulb, not the lamp, the bulb.
Okay, standard.
That doesn't look like the right bulb for this. Take a look at the socket. Take a look at the socket of the.
Wait, move it over into the camera a little bit. Yeah,
so it fits.
All right,
it
so
fits perfectly, and it's identical to the one that it came with.
Okay,
I will say that it arrived here with a bulb in it, and it all worked. And within about a week, I don't know whether the children did something to it or if it. I don't think it was defective to start with.
Okay.
But the thing I have something. I think it might be that there's no connection between the base of the lamp and the base of the bulb. I mean, and the inside of the lamp, because I had the same problem with one of my ceiling lamps. And we got a new lamp, and we screwed it in, and nothing happened. And then we had a janitor come over, and the janitor said, "Well, it's the wrong bulb." So it's like it could be that it's just missing like a millimeter in there, or not even a millimeter. If it's not flush,
the center contact, but we can troubleshoot that in a breakup.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, wonderful.
Yep.
this-
Did you
this
have one
one-
other item too?
I do, and I have low hopes for this. But this is it's a brush, and you heat it up, and it saves time essentially. But it doesn't power on at all anymore.
Okay.
And I honestly, I don't even know where I bought, like when I bought it, so there's no chance of sending it to the manufacturer. It's called the Daphne brush. I don't know if anyone's heard of these.
Okay.
I Googled it when I saw it. That was as much as I could get.
Thermal fuel.
Yeah. But maybe we'll try with the lamp first in a breakout room, because you've got to choose one over the other. And then if things go well with the lamp, then there's more time, then you can continue on with the brush.
Awesome. Okay.
Yeah. And where are you joining us today?
I'm also in Boston.
All right, cool. So we've got both coasts represented here. So we've had California, and we've also had Cole at the beginning, I should mention, was joining us from Canada. And then we've been over onto the other coast here. Okay.
And Anna, while you're, we'll put you in the lamp room first. While we're waiting to break into the rooms, if you can find whatever tools you have around the house, that would be helpful.
I've got them. Yep. Thank you.
You got them already. Cool.
Perfect.
Yeah, thanks everyone.
All right, I'm gonna do one call for a Diane with a fan. Diane with a fan, are you out there? I have not found the Diane. Sometimes it records.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, hi, welcome.
Hi. Welcome, thank you. Yes, I have a fan, and I like this fan a lot because these blades are plastic. And it's really hot right now in the Bay Area, so we need these fans. This fan runs for a while and then it stops. It gets really hot. This is the back of the device, and I do have the tools to open it up. It's some of the information is here at the bottom.
It runs full speed for a while, or
It
just
doesn't
like
run really full. You know, it does run though, and then probably a minute later it stops. It also has this.
And I'm curious, you say it gets hot?
Yeah, the back of this feels really hot. Where
So
the
you need a
motor
fan
is.
for your fan?
Sounds like a bearing lubrication.
Fan for my fan. Yeah. Pardon? I didn't hear you.
Sounds like a bearing lubrication issue. We could take it apart, clean it, and lubricate it, and it would be fine.
Okay, good. I have the tools to do that. I had to specifically go and get a tool because these screws are very.
And it turns fine when it's turned off? It
Do you have
turns
some
fine when
oil?
it's-
I do have some oil. I have W2.
Okay.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Okay, some things to troubleshoot there as well. Great.
Thank you.
All right.
So
Thanks
we'll
for
call
sharing.
that, we'll call that fan number 2, correct? That's a fan number
Right.
2. Okay, cool.
And number 2.
All right.
Yeah, 2 fans. And our last presenter today, Cindy, New York City, coming back again. Can you show us what you've brought? And it's something that was from a previous Repair Cafe, is that correct?
No, I actually.
Oh, it's something new.
Yeah, I fixed the solar radio, still working strong. Sun charges it up. Thank you everybody who helped me last time. So a new audio device. I have this set of USB speakers, and for some reason I really like things in red, and I can officially say do not buy things with this red plastic coating, because this had the same problem as the radio, and the red coating gets all sticky and gooey, and you have to try and use like rubbing alcohol or degreaser to get the sticky off, and you end up taking off your finish. So just skip over the red electronics. But that's not the problem I'm having. The problem is one of the speakers works, the other one doesn't. It's supposed to be stereo, and it's no longer stereo. They are old-fashioned USB speakers, old-fashioned, but meaning that they're not Bluetooth or wireless or anything like that. So the quick rundown is a little iPod here, you plug it in, and so it's got two connections. It's got the little headphone jack, it's got the little USB jack, and then the mini USBs go to the two speakers. So plug in the speaker. This is how it's supposed to go. Plug in the speaker, turn on the on switch. That's a blue light. It doesn't really show as blue, it just shows as a light, and then you hit play and it works. And then you try the other one and you plug it in and you turn it on. And so this is frustrating because I brought these out and, tested them and cleaned some more goo off of them maybe a week ago when I saw there was another repair cafe coming out, and it charged up, worked fine, everything. Now this speaker is not even turning on. Turn it on, no light. And I just charged it. So yeah, that's a new problem. A little caught off guard by that, so I can't actually show you the other problem it's having. So plugged in, you see light comes on. And on these, this light is supposed to be red when it's charging, green when it's charged. I mean, blue when it's charged. So that is a blue light, which you can't tell. But supposedly it's charged up. But if you unplug it from the power source, it turns off. So that's unfortunate, and that is a new development. What was happening is when you plugged it in to the sound source, now I can't get it quite in front of the computer, but so now it's plugged into the sound source as well as to the power source, and hit play. Sometimes nothing happens, but the telling part is that sometimes it makes that sort of squealy, whiny noise that bad speakers sometimes make. And I never actually known what that squealy, whiny noise is, but it's not doing it now, so I can't show you what that noise is. So dual problems. The speaker wasn't working as far as, making sound come out. And now it's also not staying on if it's not connected to a power source. And that is brand new when I turned it on 10 minutes ago.
You broke it.
I broke the broken thing more. I thought needed more of a challenge.
It's the red paint to work.
It's probably the red paint, yeah.
All right, any questions to Cindy before we go into breakout rooms and troubleshoot all of the items presented today? Any questions about the speakers?
I suspect all she needs is a new battery in the bad one.
Could be.
Well, I was also wondering about, have you used them successfully independently before? Or are they meant to be used as the left and right speaker? Like you're plugging them in one at a time. Is it behave differently if they're both connected at the same time?
I mean, I think when I initially had the problem, I was using both of them because you get the little stereo sound, and yeah, but eventually I realized that one of them wasn't working anymore. So I started just carrying the like if I, obviously they're little pocket travel speakers. So I was just carrying the one and using it as a simple speaker. Since then, I now have an iPod with a speaker, and the sound quality is just as good than a single speaker. So I haven't been using them, but
Well, it may not be the case for this type, but a lot of speaker pairs, the amplifier might be in one for serving both of them, and they both have to be present. I mean, one might work alone, but the other one might not work alone, basically.
Oh, okay. Huh.
Yeah, usually the amplifier is in one, and the other one is just a slave speaker box itself.
Yes, we have repairs that want to see both plugged in as well. But this could also, I think we're getting into some troubleshooting here. So I think we can even start, what do you say, Wayne, going into breakout rooms and doing more troubleshooting? Now, the reason why Wayne is opening the breakout rooms is because he has the newest version of Zoom, which can allow you to choose which breakout room you go to. So if you are a participant, we've already talked about the item. If you want which item.
Sorry.
Oh yeah, we've got it. That's gonna be a fun breakout room with the speakers. There's gonna be music, but it might be distorted. But there's music if you're successful. That's the promise, right? So what I was saying also is that you can choose to go into whatever breakout room you want. If you are a volunteer repairer, it also would be nice if you have been made a co-host, if you can also make sure that all of the repair rooms are manned with somebody who is a co-host, just who can facilitate anything and can report back to the main room if necessary. If you are here to observe, you can also feel free to just pop into any of the rooms and watch one of the repairs taking place. You can also identify yourself as an observer. We were expecting people who are just here to watch and to learn. So welcome everybody. And now we are going to open up these breakout rooms. So stay tuned.
And don't just leave when you're done with your breakout room. Come back here and report back and tell us what happened. Also, if for some reason it's still not fixed, so we want to hear definitely if it's fixed, but we also want to hear what was happening in the breakout rooms, because we might be able to provide a second or a third opinion. And for those of us, and so if you accidentally leave the Zoom completely, come on back in and tell us what happened. You know,
right. The Zoom link will still be live. So even if you're out of it, you can come back in and you can report back on it. We'll be here chatting either repairs, or if you have a question about that presentation I did at the beginning, we can also be talking about that. So the main room is a chat room, but we'll also be doing some secondary repair advice too.
How do you get into a breakout room?
We are going to open them up in just a minute. You're going to see it pop up.
Okay.
Yep. They already, you should have a breakout room button on the bottom of your Zoom screen. So you can pick the breakout room you should go to. Obviously, if you have the broken thing, pick the one with your name, because people will be waiting for you. Also, I've assigned many of you as co-host, people I know are coaches before. That lets you mute and unmute people in case we have background noise that's not taken care of. Also, it's really cool to record the breakout rooms. We're recording the main one, but the breakouts aren't. So if you're a co-host, click the record button if that's okay with everybody. Sometimes, you know, we just run across the most extraordinary repairs, and it's great to have the video in case you want to go turn it into something else. Also, if you see some really cool stuff going on, do a screen grab and take a still, get it back to Jessica, and we'll document, you know, what this repair cafe was all about and share it with other people. So, and if you have any problems with breakout rooms, come back to the main room and we'll help straighten you out. Also, as Peter said, when you're done, don't just say exit meeting, because then you'll be out of the whole thing. Just go return back to main room. Okay, and then you can pop around to different.
It'll say main session. You can come back to the main session anytime.
Yep. Okay.
Bye, kids. Okay. Have fun storming the castle.
All right.
I don't see the breakout room buttons.
We see your screen, Wayne. There you go.
Myra, is it possible that you didn't update to the latest version of Zoom? It's, you need to update to that in order to get the functionality.
Where would we see the breakout room buttons? Are they, should everybody be seeing them? Or just people that were assigned to the breakout rooms?
Noah's been assigned to just, you just move yourself. So find your breakout rooms button, and then you can move yourself there.
But do they all need to have the latest version too?
No, every version has the breakout.
I don't have a breakout button. I'm not sure where I should be looking.
I don't see them either. I don't have one either.
I think it's only the newer version, because I've never seen that button there before unless I'm hosting a meeting.
No, I don't have the breakout button either. And at the last session we had, I did have it. So my version is correct.
I wonder if everybody's in my version, Wayne.
Well, I don't know. Well, let's do this.
I have the option to join any breakout right now.
Yes, that's what you want to do.
Yes.
But I think Wayne had also made me a co-host, so that might be from me being a co-host.
No, you just pick your room and go for it.
I don't have
Anybody?
the breakout rooms either.
I don't
Okay,
either.
so Cece, I'll put you in the sewing machine room. Surprise,
Thank you.
surprise.
I don't have one either. I have the fan.
Okay.
All right, I'm working on it.
Thank you.
And let's see. Wait, who had the fan? I forgot your name.
Diane.
Diane Griffin. Okay. You're going to fan number 1, the Vornado, right? Or no, the
No, I'm the Vornado.
you're
I'm the Bloom.
We have two
okay.
fans, yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, so there you go. And then
Sue is one and Diane is the other.
Sue is going to Vornado. Yes?
Yes.
Yeah.
There you are. Okay. All right. I heard Steve Burrow yakking away. Where do you want to go, Steve? Oh, he found it. He's moved somewhere.
Okay, Wayne, I would like to go in with the radio.
Okay. There you go to the radio with tubes.
Wayne,
Yes.
this is Cynthia.
Where to?
The sewing machine.
Sewing machine. There you are.
Now I see the breakout rooms. I just installed the new version.
Aha.
There you are.
Yes.
Weird. Okay. Who else needs to go?
I need to go Diane B to the sewing machine.
There you are.
Could I also go to the sewing machine room? I'm just here to observe.
That was Amy.
Thanks for being here, Amy.
All right.
Wayne, this is Myra. I'd like to be in sewing machine as well.
It's going to be a party there. Okay.
Yes. We have to make sure some of the other rooms have a repairer in them, I hope.
Right.
Wayne, I
Well,
have a giant lab report to write, but I can be here for like a hot minute. Where do you want me?
I see fan number 2 doesn't seem to have, only has one person in it. If that's the person with the broken fan.
Yeah.
I could go there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Steve, Ezra, fan? Or do you want to do the speakers? Who's in the speaker room?
Bluetooth speaker seems to have a bunch of people.
Oh, okay.
There's 5 people there. I don't know if any of
fan
them
number
are
2 needs help.
fixers.
So, Burrow, go to fan number 2.
I guess so. How do I do that? How do I get myself to go there?
Well, I'll do it now for you. Fan number 2. There you go.
So the Etsy lab needs.
Etsy lamp needs help. Ezra, would you go to the Etsy lamp?
Well, it doesn't have the lamp in it yet. I think the person.
Etsy rocket lamp?
Yeah, that woman has her
Yep.
heater too.
That was
she has two,
Anna.
She had 2 items.
Yeah, her hair heating brush and the Etsy lamp.
No, she's in there. She's Anna Beeson's an Etsy
Right.
rocket.
Oh, okay.
Am I going to
Okay.
Etsy rocket lamp?
Ezra, I'll put you there, okay?
Okay, I'll go there.
Okay, good.
Just tell her to bend up the center terminal of the socket.
Do you want me to read out the chat ones to you, Wayne?
Oh, okay.
Chat request, I can tell you. Anatolia wants to go to the fan room.
Okay, I see it. I have to look up. All right.
Yeah, I know.
Anatolia to
I'm
fan
sorry.
room.
You got stuck doing the manual
I
one
got it.
anyways.
Okay. Megan wants to go to sign. Okay.
Hi, Megan. Kathy's back in our main room.
Sue is back.
Yeah, I never left. I was never put in a room.
We're putting you
Okay, so
into
Sue
fan
was
number
supposed to be in
2.
a fan. Yeah.
Yeah, so you should be able to click on breakout room now.
Yep, and Kathy needs to go into sewing machine because there's a whole bunch of people waiting for her there.
Kathy.
Yes.
Kathy from Bay Area?
Yeah.
She's going to sewing machine, okay? All right, great.
Yes,
right.
it seems that installing the latest version helps.
Yeah, I mean, it's surprised it even lets you join without forcing you to do it, right?
Yeah.
I'm with a few others in the Vornado fan room, and there's nobody with a fan in that room.
We just put them in.
Thank you.
That was Mark. We see your screen, Wayne.
Okay, so you can see, I just want to show you what's in the various rooms.
I see your like background or your desktop. Yeah.
Oh, but you don't see breakout rooms.
No, why don't I see breakout rooms?
Oh, I guess Zoom cannot share itself.
I
How would we
know.
do it?
Oh, this is
Oh.
the problem. Like you really can't help the host very much as a co-host.
Yeah. Interesting. So so I'm looking for, so the coffee grinder has Patrick, but nobody else. So
Oh, so someone needs to help Patrick.
who would like
Who's
to do
here?
that? Bill Carey, North Carolina. Would you
Do you
go
go
there?
help coffee grinder?
Bill?
Can you hear us, Bill? Oh, Frank, you're here.
Yeah, Wayne, we went to the radio room, but Kathy is in another room fixing the sewing machine. So we have no way of telling when she will be ready to switch over to fix the radio.
Kathy will come, we'll tell them to come to the main session. I can go in and tell them when she's done.
No, but no, she's in luck, but you guys can go to the radio room. Help.
Yeah, but all we have to do, they're sitting there waiting for us.
Sorry. Oh, okay. Yeah.
You can make believe you're fixing a radio. That won't be fun.
You guys
Meanwhile,
Sue needs to go to the fan room though, because they're waiting for Sue in the fan room.
I went to the wrong fan room. I was in the wrong fan room.
Maybe in fan 1 then, the first fan.
okay, I have to put you in fan 1. Wait a minute, where are you? Let's see.
Put me in one of the fan rooms. I don't seem to have that.
Okay, Sue, I'll move you to fan 1.
And then
And we need someone
Bill
in fan
can go to fan 1 too.
Okay.
Okay, so Sue, you should see like a pop-up coming that says to join a breakout room.
Okay.
And you accept.
And we need
Great.
someone to help Patrick in coffee grinder land.
Right.
Wayne, I have been assigned to the radio room. I can go to breakout rooms, but the only one that shows is the radio room. So I have no choice. I cannot go to any of the other rooms.
Frank, can I put you in the coffee grinder room and work on that for the moment? Because the radio's not ready yet.
Wayne, I'm still here. I don't think I was placed in the.
You have to click the button.
Wayne, what I am looking for is that there is a list of all the rooms so I can choose where to go. That's how it was last time. And now the only thing I get.
You have to have the latest version of Zoom. And you must have it because it was last time. The others can see it.
It has to work now too.
Yeah. The others can see it that have the latest version. So that is what you should see as a co-host. And you should be able to move between them. Because you are a co-host and you do have the latest one. So there's nothing else that we can see that is inhibiting that.
When I click on it, it just says you are assigned to the radio room. I don't have the list like I had last time.
Maybe it's because you're assigned.
Leave, or come back in.
Yeah, leave and come back in.
Come back. Or,
Okay, goodbye.
And we'll make you a co-host again. Okay, but Sue is still here. That's a problem. So Sue, we need to somehow make sure it should come up as a pop-up to join the breakout room. Oh, now Sue is.
No, she's gone.
Good,
So-
good. Awesome.
Oh, we got someone.
Hi.
Erica.
Hello. I was just wondering, or thinking, you can put me in whatever room you want. I'm just
Coffee
here to observe.
grinder?
I'm just here to observe. So I just wanna.
Okay.
I just want
Okay.
to see what's going on.
To the coffee grinder you go.
All right.
To
then.
observe. Just go tell him that we're coming. We're coming. Do we need to
They've
send
got
somebody else?
Danny's there too. So we're
Okay.
good.
Okay.
So everything, okay, so Daphne's brush doesn't have a Daphne or a coat, so that's good. Nobody in radio, sewing machine, cast of thousands.
No.
Only 2 people with the piano, Cole and Jared. I wonder, yeah. That doesn't look much like a Vicky Johnson, but maybe.
No,
Vicky,
I was just thinking, Vicky Johnson, who are you?
can't hear you.
Hello.
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
What
No,
room, what room would you like to be in, Vicky?
it's Tom Johnson, and yeah.
We know. We should
Been in several
rename
of these. I'm using my wife's computer, and that's why I don't have the. I was thinking of going to the USB speaker.
Okay.
You are now Tom Johnson. Look at that. Amazing.
Oh, you did. Thank you.
You didn't have to fill out a form or anything. You want to go to where?
Go to
speaker.
Cindy in the USB speaker.
Okay, there you go.
Thank you.
Great minds think alike, Wayne. I was editing him at the same time.
Oh, okay. Mark Stengel, why are you still here? Actually, who's left in the main room here that needs to be someplace else? Because otherwise you're gonna have to talk to Peter and Jessica and me.
Yeah. And come up with a conversation topic.
White Shoe runs the Toronto Repair Cafes. White Shoe, do you want to talk to us or?
White Shoe is looking at what version. I know for this this new one, what is it? What is the new one? It's 2.3? No.
5.3 something.
5.3. Yeah.
5.3.
Yep.
Hi everyone. Hi.
Hi.
I'll try to look it up and try to come back, and I'm curious about the breakout section, of course. But I would like to update my Zoom right now to fix it from my side.
Rebooting or coming back did work. Now I can see all the breakout rooms.
Okay, perfect.
Good, great.
Okay.
Cole, you came back with your grinder. What happened?
No, Cole was a piano.
Oh, Cole's piano. Oh, yeah, piano. Yeah. And?
It turned into a grinder. No.
Oh, no, I'm confused.
Talk to Jared. Oh yeah, I was trying to set up the join breakout room and I just wasn't sure. Oh, and then someone named Jared was asking me if the audio, if I plugged headphones into the back, if it would work. And then I tried responding, but it said I cannot reply in this meeting. So I wasn't sure what to do really. And then there was a woman there, but she was just an observer apparently.
Yes.
So I'm not too sure exactly how it works.
Okay.
Jared is the repairer there to help you, but you couldn't respond like in the chat or?
I guess so. Yeah. I tried typing something back to him. And then it just said, you cannot reply in this meeting for some reason. And then.
Okay. Eric and Coffee Grinder asked for help. Okay. I'll tell you what, Jessica, can I go to the wait a minute, what am I going to do here? Erica in Coffee Grinder asked for help. So I guess I have to go there and help out.
Well, okay.
Okay, I'll be back.
You go to Coffee Grinder. Peter, do you or I want to go in with Cole to the piano room and see? I think it might be just the chat function isn't working. So you actually have to unmute and talk. Might be the issue.
Oh, I see. Like he can type and then I'll just answer with my voice kind of thing?
Yeah. You have this kind of disjointed conversation. That might be it. When we're going to see a couple more repairers are like updating their Zoom and then coming back in, and then we'll try to send them to your room as well. So yeah, this is the part that goes like, everyone try to find your repairer and your participant. But if you go back in there, they should still be in there waiting for you. So if you go back into your breakout room.
Okay, I want to go there right now.
Okay, perfect.
All right.
And we also always have the Discord channel. And I was emailing with Cole about that too, joining the Discord channel.
Yeah.
But Let's
So-
see how we can move these things forward. All right, so, hi, Wayne.
So we need somebody in the coffee grinder room who knows about this thing. We have people who don't know where to go. So, Peter, do you want to join them, or if I give you host, Jessica, maybe you can also all of a sudden magically work with breakout rooms? No, probably not.
But will it
That
take
sounds
that
really
function away
dangerous.
from people? I feel like,
Oh, if I'm
don't know.
done, yeah, that's dangerous. I better not do it. Yeah.
But you can go in there as a host. That's okay, right?
But can you assign people now? If you click on breakout rooms, can you move people around? No, only the host can.
No,
right?
because I don't have that version that I can even see the button is the problem.
Oh, yeah.
This was my
Uh,
problem today. I was trying my hardest to get this version or
Yeah.
another computer. Yeah.
Well, the Zoom people didn't imagine that anybody would have to work for an organization that wouldn't let them instantly update the client.
Oh
right?
yeah, I sent quite a few emails and tried calling. And like, why
So,
are we in the native Zoom?
well, but also, why did Zoom introduce a feature that had no backward compatibility functionality, right? They break
Right.
them, so that's silly. And these guys, did you see what their stock price has done? I
Yeah.
swear, in April, I said, I should buy some Zoom stock, and I didn't. Because I was telling everybody to go use it, right? So
Should I send out like a broadcast if anybody knows anything about coffee grinders to jump in that room? Or you can send out the broadcast. I can't send out a broadcast.
Now Cole and piano wants help too. Peter, can
So
you go
maybe
to,
if we broadcast to everybody, if they can, if anybody is free to join Cole or who's in the coffee grinder, Patrick,
yeah.
that we could use a few repairers in those rooms, and maybe anybody who's feeling like they're just a third repairer on the sewing machine. Because you
all
can
right.
broadcast to everybody, right?
Well, what's up with Mark? Is Mark not here?
Mark may have logged in twice.
Okay, could be. I guess I can do a broadcast. Yeah.
Yeah, just say we need help in the coffee grinder room.
need-
I'd be curious to see if people.
It's coffee
Yeah.
grinder and piano room.
Coffee
right, yeah.
grinder. And
Yep, Cole's back.
piano rooms. Please move if you can. Okay. Okay.
Great.
All right. Well, this is.
Cole.
Well, it's amazing that this works anyway, right? Because how do you have a coach to participant ratio that even works, right? Except if you have sewing machines. Apparently, lots of sewing machines.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's yeah, and we have the gender issue always we have with sewing machines. That's great. It's just, why is that? One day sewing machines will not have a gender bias to them, but today they do. All right. All right, I'm gonna go over to, well, let's see, did anybody go to?
We can call, can we call you back? I think we can. I think we can
Oh,
always.
no, nobody's in the
contact
piano
you.
room now. Okay, what happened? I think we lost them all together.
Cole
No,
is here.
Cole is here.
Or was here. Yeah, there's Cole.
Okay, hey Cole,
He's on the
I'll go
side
join
now.
you in. I'll go join you in the piano room. Or wait a minute, why don't you wait? Just do it here. Can we do
Yeah.
that here?
Okay. Main stage. You're on the main stage now, Cole. So so you just shut down that breakout room?
No, no one's there, but
Oh, okay.
yeah. Chewing, yes. Just finish chewing. It's
Sorry,
good.
sorry.
You're
All right.
sideways for us a little bit.
Yeah, let me try to fix that one today.
He's not sideways for us a little bit. He's sideways, period.
There we go.
There we go.
I have some work to do. Am I good to head out, or am I needed to help fix things somewhere?
We had, if you think you could do anything with a coffee grinder, we had a plea from the coffee grinder room.
I could pop in for a hot minute. I looked at it. It looked like there were a ton of people in there. Are they?
Oh, maybe they moved.
Now there's
yeah.
a time. Okay, now there's a
Okay,
time.
you're good. You're good.
Okay.
Frank is there. We're
Cool.
safe.
I have a Capresso Burr coffee grinder in my kitchen if they need a reference, but otherwise I'm going to be writing a lab report. So.
Okay.
Okay, must have A, Ezra.
Good luck with it.
Must have A.
Yes.
Thanks for coming.
Ezra's in
Of course.
college. Okay. See ya. Be well.
Okay, Cole,
Yeah.
All
tell
right. Show
us
us.
where
Show
you
us
are
this thing.
with this.
Okay, so yeah, here I'll do this one today. So we kind of just have it a little bit opened up.
Yeah.
We put a bigger wire just so it's more mobile and easier to work with. We brought that up to and then we just connected these two wires together there.
So we just connected the batteries.
Yeah, we just connected the battery wires with longer wires, basically.
Okay.
Now when we turn it on, it makes a little more.
Oh, and yeah, and then so now when we turn it on, I'll see if you can hear it. I don't know if you will. It's pretty quiet, but do you hear that?
Nope.
Hear that?
Oh yeah.
It's pretty quiet, but
yeah, we got a thump from the speaker. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So there's a little something there.
That's a good sign. What if you hold down a key at the same time?
Here, I'll hold this one. No, the keys aren't making any sound, unfortunately.
Okay. So, guys, I hate to ask you, do you have another set of fresh batteries? Because this is very common with these things. If the batteries are weak, you get that and don't get anything else. So I'd like to make sure you really have 4 good, strong AA's or AAA's or whatever those are in the thing.
Well, we got 1.57 volts per battery.
You have a meter.
Yeah.
Ah. And what does it measure at the connection right now when it's turned on?
6 point something.
And is it okay? And how about when the power switch is turned on?
Yeah. Oh, well, you know,
Something
the battery's
goes
all
off.
connected. I think we got 6 point something.
Okay.
Which
Because
I
often
think
battery
they're not
voltages.
brand new batteries, but they should be 6.008.
Okay. And with the switch, the power switch on?
That is with the switch on.
Oh, okay.
With the switch off, it's 6.09.
Like it's not drawing much of anything. And you're sure you got the plus and minus correct with your wire extension, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So now, of course, we have a printed circuit board with a million little parts, and like, what are we going to do, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So I think about the brute force kinds of approaches. Like, what happens to little things like this? They fall off a table, they drop, and something cracks on a circuit board. So you might want to poke around, look for breaks in the circuit board, look really closely because a bend in the circuit board could break a trace or wires that popped off. But this is really, this is a hard thing to fix.
Yeah.
Right. Because like, which of those components are bad? And, for mere mortals, is there anything replaceable here besides the batteries or the speaker? Maybe not really.
No.
Component level diagnostics at a Fixit cafe, repair cafe is it's a 300 level class, which none of us are qualified for really. It's a tough problem, but I would be looking for breaks. This thing did work at some point, right?
Not since we've ever had it.
Oh, it arrived broken. Okay, so yeah.
Is that an external power supply? I see a jack. I see there.
Right there?
Ah,
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, the fact that you're getting the clunk clunk when you turn the switch means that the power is going through there. But those things usually have a switch in them. So when you plug in the external power supply, they disconnect the batteries. And that little switch contact in there can get corroded. You might want to poke around in that a little bit, scrape it out, or just see if there's any voltage on the board anywhere, right? Because if you've got power coming into the wires, but like trace those out and see like, oh, am I actually getting 6 volts elsewhere on the board, or is the whole thing just dead? like I would pick, put your meter on the minus side of the batteries and just take your probe and poke around and see if there's any voltages anywhere on any exposed wire. I know that sounds
Okay.
random. Yeah.
So like there and somewhere over here.
Yeah, put the meter on the minus of the battery and then just all those wires sticking up, find something.
Oh, we got 5.993 DC.
Okay.
So we're dropping down a little bit.
Yeah. Poke around elsewhere.
I think that's 6 volts. Is that enough, do you think?
Well, I mean, it went through some component, but let's just see if it's making it downstream anywhere. Any of those wires. Anything sticking up on that board.
I don't know, guys. Even though it's saying 6 volts on the alkalines, you really want to test this. You really want to test batteries under load. And I just think that I'm nervous that it's dropping.
You got a
to
5.8 somewhere here.
Yeah. All right, just all those right between your fingers there, where you're touching all those pins. Any of those?
Yeah. In here, the LEDs.
Those are for the keyboard switches, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's just anywhere on those. Oh, I don't know, on the big chip there with the flexible cable connects.
Yep.
Like the 4 corners of that chip, the 4 pins. One of them is going to be.
Got 5.14.
Okay, nothing there.
Looks like 5.14 here at the chip.
Okay, so that's nice. There's power coming to the chip.
Well, hang on, was. Oh, we may have lost. No.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, I'm back on again.
Sue seems to be back.
5.14.
Report back.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Hold on a second, keyboard guys. Sue, what do you have to tell us about fans?
Or maybe she's logging in again.
No, I'm here. I'm here.
Okay.
So I am told that I need to check the fuse. So the fuse is inside here. And so I need to get an ohm meter, and I can just go to the hardware store and they can check the ohm meter reading and check if the fuse is blown or if it's a problem with the fan itself. So if the fuse is just blown, then I can get a new fuse and presumably the fan will work again. So if not, and the fuse is good, then we know it's a problem with the internal structure of, the motor or something else, the connections. And so you may see me back here if the fuse is good, or if I'm able to get a new fuse.
And need help putting it in, yeah?
And well, probably not. I mean, it's pretty simple. As long as I at the hardware store, they could probably help me do that. So someone in the breakout room showed me a video of how to pop the fuse out. And as long as you have a small enough screwdriver, which I don't think I do, I have one that's small, but I don't think this is small enough. It just pops right out. So it seemed pretty simple that I could do. But
just
the hardware.
Well, actually, I must have. I couldn't put it here.
So a quick multimeter lesson, not this one, this one. If you buy a multimeter, somewhere they'll have a symbol that looks like Wi-Fi. That's a continuity tester. And when you take your 2 probes together like this, you get a beep and something changes on the display. If you put these on 2 parts of the fuse, it should beep. If it doesn't beep, it's a bad fuse. As easy as that. And any of the meters will do this kind of thing. Look for something with this symbol, or the description says continuity test. Even the $5 meter from Harbor Freight does that. Or you could just borrow Cole's. He's right next to you on the screen here, but different place.
That's the next level. Yeah.
Exactly. When we can share multimeters across Zoom. But yeah, it used to be that multimeters were like, you're an engineer, you have one of these things. But I think now it's kind of a common household tool. right? So you can measure all these kinds of things that you have.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I you know, wow, you have a bird in your lamp. That is the coolest thing I've ever seen on Zoom. That's awesome. That's cute. I mean, I'm tempted to like, you know, take some aluminum foil and ball it up and stick it in there, but that's not a good thing to do.
Wait, Sue, is the fuse glass? It's a glass
It's
fuse in there?
ceramic. It's ceramic. Yeah.
So you can just see if you can thread a piece of dental floss behind it and just yank it out.
Okay.
And then you can look at it. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
But that still won't tell you if it's working or not.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I have to go to the hardware store for that.
Okay. All right. Yeah, you're always welcome to come back. And we have the Discord channel too for asynchronous, synchronous, 24/7, round the clock repair. So you're always welcome to come back and use either one.
Okay. Yep. So good luck with the next step. And yeah, we hope to hear some update afterwards too.
Okay.
Thank you so much for joining us.
And you're welcome to
today.
hang out and look at other rooms if you want.
You can also hang out. We're working on Cole's piano now. So I'll unmute him. I muted him before.
Okay.
All right. Thanks.
All right.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. So back to Cole.
Yeah. Let's see. But it looks like we're behind something in Cole's. Wow, you guys.
Ooh, that's a fancy looking lunch.
What's that? I don't have breakfast yet.
Okay.
Nice.
All right, here we go.
All right. Sorry for the interruption there, but
no, it's all good.
yeah. So I mean, so my thought, you know, if you're seeing voltage across the board, then maybe the power circuit is okay. We don't have to dig in there, but it's worth considering Peter's suggestion, which is go find some absolutely fresh batteries you're sure about, because these things can be very picky, right?
Yeah, we just look for new batteries if we don't have any.
Don't have them. Because a brand new battery is like, you know, 1.6, 1.7, and they should be adding up to more than 6. But
yeah, we should be. I mean, they were higher before, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess maybe they're a little bit old.
Give me 1 sec. I just got to grab a charger for my iPhone. I'm on.
Oh, that's okay.
Low percentage. 1 sec. Wait.
Yeah, I have a similar keyboard, and if the batteries are in any way weak, it does exactly that thing where it just makes the popping sound and the keys don't play.
Oh, really? Even if it's just like okay. So maybe it could be that actually.
No, yeah, could be that.
Yeah, I don't think it's that.
Or you actually might have a 6-volt DC adapter somewhere in your house you can plug into that jack. If you have some other appliance, or the box of adapters that most people seem to have in their home. I have a box myself. Some anonymous person dumped some on my front porch because I said maybe the Fixit clinic could use them, and they turned maybe into okay, he wants them, and they found my address and just gave me a box of
yeah. I don't think it is the batteries, but
yeah, it may not be. I'm more into is there a broken wire, a broken circuit board chase, because these things drop, and you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we had this apart once already, and I think we kind of looked for broken traces, and
yeah,
we got my meter out and we measured every resistor that we could, and tried to get into the capacitors, but it's really hard to measure capacitors when they're and resistors too. But we didn't find anything open that we could see.
Yeah, that's good strategy, but yeah, not likely.
You guys get a lot of points because you are way ahead. You have a multimeter, you have wires, alligators, clip wires. You know, you guys have the right stuff. You should come back as fixers.
Yeah, this looks like.
Well, we'd love to if we could figure out how to fix anything.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's about the journey. It's about applying critical thinking skills to the device.
Yeah. No, it's a.
Yeah, I mean the traces all look really good. I mean, it doesn't.
Okay.
They're all pretty robust traces, you know, they're pretty beefy.
Yep.
And maybe Cole can show you I don't think it's a double density board or nothing like that.
Uh-huh.
So Cole, I don't know,
I'd
maybe.
say there could be cold solder joints, there could be hairline cracks on it. It's a subtle problem, at least.
Yeah,
these
some
things
solder
go-
joint just lifted a little bit, and
Yeah.
and that's what's
Or,
causing the problem.
worst case scenario, the thing got, hit by some static charge and the microprocessor is out to lunch, which means.
And that would be the big chip.
Yeah. And none of those none of those kind of components you're going to change. That's a custom chip that Yamaha made, right?
Right. I mean, is it a custom chip, so you can't buy it? It's not on the shelf?
Yeah, it would cost you more than to use one of these on eBay if it was possible.
Oh.
Any of you could solder it, right? It's
Yeah.
This is kind of in the class of pretty much disposable products, right? I hate to say it, but it's not that kind of thing. It's like it doesn't have much to it. Battery, speaker, circuit board. If you said something like, oh well, 2 of the keys don't work. Okay, now we have a mechanical electrical thing to go poke around at, right? Because you have to fire it up. But we don't have that kind of problem here. Yeah. And
yeah,
you're absolutely sure about the polarity.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay. Because I can imagine it going clunk when you turn the power on if it's backwards.
Should we try just to see?
No, the negatives goes to the negative. It's
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
what would we do to try that? Oh, yeah.
No, the battery it's correct.
Sure.
I'm sure of that.
Well, just for grins, we can see what someone else has done to this thing. I'll show you this hacking thing.
Yeah, I don't think it's been hacked. Do you want to show them what the board looks like, Cole? Like traces?
Oh yeah, I think I saw this.
Yeah, you saw this. Okay, cool. That happens to be top of mind for me because I teach part-time at the University of Colorado Boulder, and there's a circuit bending group, which is a mix of engineers and musicians, and they bring in all kinds of stuff, and it's just hilarious what they make it do. And then they sample the results and turn those into compositions.
Okay, CC and Nick are back from the sewing machine. Guys,
Oh, yeah.
Nick, you guys want to tell us what?
Her sewing machine's missing parts, and she was given parts that didn't belong to her machine. So it looks like I probably have those parts, and so we're going to get together off-site, and I'm going to get those to her, and so we're returning her to the main room so she can fix her radio.
Nick, do you concur with that?
I was just saying to CC that when I originally saw the state of that machine, I was very upset that they'd done such a bad thing to that machine. So the fact that CC's got the parts is brilliant. I'm a lot happier now.
That's great.
You two are twins separated by birth, you know.
And a continent. And an ocean.
Well, that was the other thing I was saying. It's lucky there's I would have liked to go around and throw a house brick into that repair shop, but luckily they're on the wrong continent.
Well, they're not that far from me.
Well, yeah, sort of out.
I appreciate the sentiment. Yesterday was sort of a bittersweet day. I got rid of my 2001 Toyota Prius. I was an early adopter of Priusness, and not driving the car for a few minutes. I was going to sell it to a friend for cheap, and he picked up the car and drove it. A mile after leaving my house, he says, Wayne, the dashboard's lighting up like a Christmas tree. What's going on? And we plugged in a diagnostic thing, and it said, 19-year-old batteries, it's time, right? Mm-hmm. So now this car is worth like nothing. What are you going to do with a hybrid with bad batteries? And we found a guy in Boulder who actually rebuilds these things. And he gave me a decent offer for the car. And he came over and picked it up, and he looked at me and he gave me that look like, it's okay. I'm going to get this car back on the road. It's got a lot of miles left. And I'm going to put another 100,000 miles in this car, okay? I'm going to sell it to someone who can use it. Okay, don't worry. Because my wife's like, You know, Wayne, since this Fixit thing, you know, you can't throw anything away anymore. I said, no, I'm not going to throw anything away. So
Wayne,
when a
did
large,
the original buyer want it after with the new batteries in it, or what?
he might go buy it from them, which is great. And they happen to be, this is Boulder Hybrids. They happen to be across the street from EcoCycle World Headquarters. So it's all East Boulder, cheap rent, where you can do stuff like this.
Okay,
But
Kathy's
yeah,
back with a radio. So can we put her in a radio room and make an announcement saying Kathy's ready with the radio? Because I think Frank and a bunch of other people would like to get into that room with Kathy.
Okay. So
And is anybody here to report back? Let's see.
So we worked on Diane's fan for a while, and
yeah.
And I think we kind of opened it up and cleaned out some dust bunnies and put a little oil on the bearings, but it's still, I think the motor is kind of on its way out. The bearings on the motor are good.
Wait, is it making noise? Like, is it grinding or something?
Yeah, well, it works for a while and then it starts making like a noise. I think what's happened is the bearing where the shaft that holds the fan pokes out is like a brass sleeve that's supposed to be attached to the frame of the motor, but it's free. Sometimes it's turning freely in its holder, and sometimes it's staying still. And so you kind of comes and goes, and then it heats up. Once the brass bearing starts turning in its holder, it heats everything up really fast and starts making noises. So I think she needs a new motor. But
ooh, Steve, I need you to help me mill something. These $19 parts that are on this embroidery machine that are really tiny, I need to figure out how I can make them, because they are just easy to lose, and I've lost 2 of them down the machine.
Oh no. Okay, well, we can figure something out.
So let's just check. Diane, are you okay with this diagnosis? Diane, I just see your fan. I don't see her. Oh, well, okay, never mind.
I don't see her.
Yeah.
But you'd be pretty impressed, Peter. I diagnosed a manual car that had electrical problems, and I fixed all of it. And I mean, I had to go to 3 different places to fix all the parts, but I did it, and I got it running. It was a $500 car. We couldn't pass it up for our healthcare client.
So Anna's back with her report on a fan and heated brush.
Hey, Anna, tell us what you're muted still.
And one second, Kathy, if you're ready to go to the radio room, you can go to the breakout room there, and I've sent a broadcast to people to come join you in the radio room. And she's there. Okay, is anyone with her? Yes, Ulf is there. No, he's not there.
No, Ulf came back into the main room.
Okay.
Yep.
Ulf, do you want to go back to the radio room and help Kathy?
Sure, I can go in there.
You can go there. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I'm old enough to do tube radios if necessary.
Go for it. It'll be interesting. 4 tubes or 5 tubes? I guess 5. The 5-tube AM radio is a classic. It's the same circuit.
We have a question from Cece in the chat too. Knowledge about xenon projector lamps.
Does anybody have any knowledge?
Not I.
I'd love to hear from Anna and her rocket radio. Rocket lamp.
Let's do that.
Yes. So we did some troubleshooting, and then we found that in the base where the light bulb sits, the pins where the contact is made with the base of the bulb were sort of distorted out of shape, or they were not making contact. So ultimately, it was just required to bend those carefully back into place with some pliers, and fortunately, it works. I'm thrilled. And then I have to figure out now how to find a bandsaw to make a new edge, but that's something that's a lot less intimidating than or even
Or have
ask for
laser cut it for you.
Yeah, we used to have one at our local library, and it's you know, COVID closed it down.
You can also just cut it out with a little saw too.
A jeweler's not a
True.
A little saw
Yeah.
and some sandpaper to clean up the edges and get them to match the
I
line.
think that's the one I'm gonna pick.
Cardboard.
Or cardboard.
All right. Yeah.
Thanks so much for sharing it, and great that it got fixed.
How about the
And
hairbrush?
oh, the hairbrush is thoroughly disassembled. But I learned all kinds of neat things about this circuit board. Hey, 1 second, Mama's talking. And ultimately, there are two fuses here. One in the where the brush head is. I mean, I can't really show you anything, but there's two fuses here that are potential sources for investigation. I just don't personally have a multimeter. So I need to borrow or find one of those and test out these fuses to see if they can be swapped out. And that seems like something I could maybe do.
Do you live in Jamaica Plain, or where do you live in Boston?
I do, yes.
So I'm hoping we're trying to bridge the real world and the virtual world with these Fixit clinics, that maybe if a Fixit coach could get you a multimeter somehow. I mean, they're not that expensive, but we also don't want to add more things to the planet that you're just going to use once, unless you thought you would use it, you know? So,
I think it's unlikely that I'm a neuroscientist. I'm not an electrical scientist. So, I mean, it's a different kind of electricity. So, yeah.
Cool.
You said there were fuses. Are they the kind of fuses that look like this, little silver thingies with wires?
One, yes. One is, and one is thermal.
Well,
so it's wrapped in some thermal tape, and it has a temperature.
Yeah.
A temperature.
Yep. Yep.
Yucky underneath all this, but it tells us the temperature limit for this.
That's what these are. And they come in different temperature ratings, and when they melt, they open the circuit, and they're designed to keep your house from burning down, which apparently it did. But why did it go bad is, a mystery. To this point, we don't think there are viruses that affect home appliances, but it could be just a defective fuse. But we replace these all the time in clinics, and they're the fate of many a dead appliance ends up in the landfill, because it some temporary thing happened, it prevented a fire, but it wasn't resettable. So yeah, kind of like the difference between us and octopus. If we lose our arm, they don't go back, but an octopus grows their arms back, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so we can always look at this more. But we have Patrick back to report. We have
good.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Anna, for sharing that, and great that it got fixed. Great, and as Wayne said, it's more resources that we're saving, and hopefully we'll also be able to work on multimeters and getting those to you as well. So we'll
wonderful.
Follow up.
Thanks, everybody.
Okay, thanks for being contestant.
All right.
Okay, we said Patrick.
We have both Cindy and Patrick back.
Okay, Patrick, can you hear us? Can you report back to us?
So similar thing. It was a thermal fuse with mine as well. So I clipped it out, I tested it, and it seemed like that wasn't, I don't know, I'm not that good at electronics either, but I have a multimeter, and it showed that it wasn't going through electricity. So
what's the rating? What does it say is the rating? Because we'll just mail you one.
It is 98 degrees Celsius.
Does it have a maximum current rating also? Some number of amps or milliamps or something like that?
I'm not sure. I could tell you what it says on it, if that helps. So it's micro temp, SKC ACU. I think this is a G4A01. And then on the bottom, it says 98 degrees Celsius.
And so if you connect the two wires across, the grinder works again?
No, it doesn't work again, but should I try that?
Yeah, I mean, just temporarily. I would short it, just see if it...
Yeah, see if it turns.
Yeah. And
we'll try to connect them with it off, and then, don't
plug it
necessarily
I'm about to lose power, so I'm going to sign off.
Thanks for coming, Cece. And I'll tell everybody here that like we're going another 20 minutes and then we'll wrap up. Those that we don't finish, we have more events in the pipeline, and Peter's got those lined up. Do we have any already scheduled, Peter, that we can already put?
Yeah, November 14th, is it? Coming out of Ontario, Canada. We're hoping to be hosted by Sheridan College and the Toronto Repair Cafe and Brompton Library.
All right.
But the Discord server, guys, so the Discord server, 24/7, ubiquitous, round the clock, round the world repair going on there. You can do video there, but we're getting them up to speed. We're trying to figure out how to get it so that multiple Fixit coaches are in that Discord server at the same time, and we're not quite there yet. So we probably have to schedule a meeting there to work on individual items more deeply.
I have to split too, but thank you for this. It was such an amazing event, and it was kind of mind blowing to watch the coffee grinder get disassembled and troubleshot, as it were. It was great. So yeah, I'm definitely going to come to other events.
Great.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Thanks for the feedback, and thanks so much for joining us today, Erica.
No, yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
See you.
Cool. All right. Bye.
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 And Sin also was in the main room. Sin, do you have your Bluetooth speakers or non-Bluetooth speakers?
Yeah, the USB
Yes, I
speakers.
do. And we're 2 for 2. They are now working again. It was the switch, so took it apart, tested a few things, cleaned out the switch with rubbing alcohol, and it is back to working. And I'd play it, but I actually thought I may as well take the other one apart and clean the switch out on that as long as I'm doing it, because, preventative. So yeah, that's what I'm doing, and it's excellent. Thank you.
Another fix.
Right.
All right. We are preserving a lot of materials today on International Repair Day. Great. Awesome. Thanks for reporting back to us.
I have a 99° C fuse.
We see it.
Yeah, 1 degree shouldn't make much of a difference, you'd think.
Probably not.
No,
So-
yeah, that's fine. Wayne, if you can mail that to Patrick, I'll send you some postage. I'll Venmo you the postage.
Yeah, sure. Just,
I could also
mean,
Venmo the postage too.
seriously, if it works when you short the wires together, I'll just mail it to you. Give me your address.
All right, it just turned on. It just made a big whizzing noise. So
Does the fuse look like this one?
It probably did in the past, but I clipped it off.
Okay, so it's cylindrical, not a rectangle square thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah. I saw it in the breakout room.
And
It
so
looks-
connectors?
It has a conical end.
Okay, that's this. Are the connectors crimped on somehow, or is there a screw terminal?
No, all he has to do is wrap them together. He was smart. He left a lot of wire. If I saw, he left a lot of wire on both ends, and he can just tighten the wire around both ends. He's done.
Frank gave him real specific instructions. Frank says they usually ship a little brass crimping tube or a pair of them, one for each end.
Yeah, I have some of those too. I'll send you those too. So Patrick.
Yeah, send those too.
All right. Who has Patrick's email address?
I'll get it to you.
Or you actually just send me his.
How are you going to send it to his email address?
I thought I'd. Peter, you can
scan it and you send it.
Just like we can pass tools right here, because if you're next to them on the screen, it should work.
Yeah. Right.
No problem there.
So, yeah, Patrick, get your mailing address to me somehow, and I'll send it to you today.
Thank you.
Sure.
Yeah, you got to come back and show us the working. We all want coffees from this.
That's the price. An update.
Okay. Yeah, I could definitely
that are bridged by these little things.
Because I just happened to get a shipment from eBay China of a pile of these.
I mean,
fuses
all the
to
lines
restock.
look really like. What you'd do is you'd see it like it would be a big open.
Who's talking?
When we could peel that off, but I don't
Big
think.
open.
I don't think it's been dropped and bent, and I don't see.
Cole, you guys need to mute.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah, I
in
did
regard
it.
to the coffee grinder, just one thing is, I think you noticed.
I think Cole wants more help when we're doing, but we have coffee grinder. We have another
So
input
on
to
the
coffee
coffee
grinder.
grinder, if you grind quite fine, you're going to get a lot of little dust, and especially if you get an oily coffee, it'll build up. So you actually should periodically clean it. And one area is at the output that can actually get plugged where it'll run, but nothing comes out. And all you have to do is reach in there with a pipe cleaner or something, and you can clean that dust and oil out. And most likely it did get jammed up, and that's why you blew the thermal fuse. So keeping it clean will prevent this in the future.
Yeah, in the past when we've seen these, it's people with cocoa beans or nut butters they're trying to make with their coffee grinder. Doesn't work.
Bamboo skewer. You can clean it out with a bamboo skewer.
There you go.
Here are the crimp-on connectors for them.
Huh.
Okay.
And as everyone probably knows, I mean, you use the crimp-on as opposed to soldering just because these are generally fairly warm, and that's where solder could melt. Or if you try to solder, you will cause the fuse to open up.
Yep.
So that's why the crimp-on.
And you know, you used to be able to go to Radio Shack to get these maybe close to the temperature, but actually they're on Amazon now. So the ones
you can get a
prices
whole,
are expensive. I just lost the crimp on the floor. I'll find it. Here it is. But yeah, you know, for those of you that run your own clinics around the world, this is a great supply item to have. To just buy them from China. It'll take 2 or 3 months to get here. Get an assortment of different sizes and drop $10 on it. Right? It's just worth having these around to keep these appliances out of the landfill.
Okay, Patrick. So email me your U.S. mailing address, and I'll forward it on to Wayne. And you'll have those hot little parts in your pocket, along with your ballot, sometime. I don't know, whenever Wayne gets it out.
Oh, I'll drop it. I'll drop it in today's mail. But is the post office functional? It's been weird lately. Very weird.
Okay, so are we going back to Cole? Is that the plan?
I think we can go back to Cole for a few minutes while we're waiting. We'll give the radio group a few more minutes, so we can do a little more on Cole's troubleshooting, and then I think we're going to be wrapping it up. So it might be that the radio group and Cole's don't finish today because they do want to wrap it up at the hour, so that we don't have everybody waiting too long to hear the report backs. Okay, so Cole, do you have anything more that you want us to take a look at here?
No, not per. I mean, I guess like what should I just kind of do you think it's still worth saving, or is it the kind of thing where it's cheaper just to buy a new one if I was to get a new one, or if there's any other ways I could try and fix it, or like what should my plan going forward be, do you guys think?
Well, so you're in Vancouver, right? You're in British Columbia? Yeah. So they have repair cafes in Vancouver. It was actually, the woman who runs them was actually on earlier, Sunny. So if and when you guys come out of lockdown, you could bring it there so that somebody else could take a in-person, if you're just willing to hold on to it until those things start happening again.
Yeah, one of my friends actually, this is kind of how I even found your guys' thing, is because I remember my friend told me about, I don't know if it's the repair cafe or something similar to that, but she co-runs it or something like that. And then so I messaged her and then found this resource. But yeah, her name's Katie Wong. I don't know if you guys have heard of her before.
No, but tell her to join our Discord group.
Yeah, we're making friends all over the world now. And I actually had something set up for you for this in the Discord and you never joined. So, but it's okay. I mean, it depends how much effort you want to put into it. Everything's ultimately fixable. It's just how much energy you want to put into it to make it happen.
And I think Jared has also posted something in the chat for you, Cole, another teardown video that might be helpful.
Okay.
Advises you to talk to your friend who does circuit bending to see if they might also take a look at it.
Yeah, and that's a good point, because if you just decide to abandon this thing, try to give it away somewhere for the people who do circuit bending, because they'll be happy to play with it. You know, this particular one, there's a handful of models that are in demand. There's a Casio that everybody likes. This one's the other one. There's a whole bunch of things. So yeah, it can find a home. I don't know if you have a free cycle in your area, but if you have a free cycle group, you can say, hey, I have this broken thing and it doesn't work, but if you want it, here's how you get it.
Okay.
It's a question of, you know, finding the relationships of, you know, where this has value, even if you can't fix it. So who knows? Who knows?
Yeah.
Or if your local university has a music technology program or something like that, you might find people that are like, "Oh, you're kidding? You have one of those? That'd be awesome." So
That's a good idea. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm trying. So that's electronics, and then that'd be ideal. So I knew someone could help me and show me around. Because yeah, ultimately I want to learn electronics. So it's not so much replacing it. It's more like I'm curious. I want to know how to diagnose things and then be able to fix them, kind of thing.
Absolutely.
But yeah, but yeah. Either way, thanks for putting this on. It was actually very, very fun. Had a good time.
In terms of the IC chip, the microprocessor, like there's a number on it. Like, would you be able to find a schematic for that or something like that?
Oh, if only the manufacturers provided us with that level of information about how they get that stuff. I mean,
I'm just thinking about, you know,
I think that's way,
chip
I think the
it's
chance the
chip.
microprocessor is bad is very, very, very low. Honestly, guys, I still think you've got 4 dead batteries, but that's my opinion.
Yeah, maybe.
Well,
worth a shot anyways. We'll try that.
Could be. I mean, somebody else bought this, and we're thinking that they bought 4 new batteries and put 4 new batteries in when they bought it. So maybe there's a drain.
4 batteries out of the battery drawer. Okay, that's what it goes. All the batteries in the battery drawer. They got 4 new batteries out of the battery drawer.
Well, hopefully that would be great. So,
That'd be hilarious if that's all it was in the end.
Yeah, I know they're kind of borderline, but
Yes, please report back. we are all waiting to hear what happens with this.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks for your
Thank
help.
you so much for coming and supporting International Repair Day. Let's see. Do we have one more group, Wayne? The radio group is still out. Can we pull them back in?
Sure. Let's do close all rooms, and they'll be back in a minute. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. I think we'll get the last reporting in, and then we'll close up here, and then we're ready to go for the next events. I looked at the calendar. Yes, there's a possible one in a couple of weeks, and then a couple in November for sure. So look into the calendar, get into Discord. Now I see the Discord link is in the chat, so we should be ready to go. I've also put resources from the beginning in there as well. So anybody that wants the slides or a link to the Restart materials, and which were all developed as part of a project, I should say, with Restart, with my department as well, and some other research institutions. So beyond Lund, it was also with Belgium, Italy, and Germany working on this project together. So please use the resources if you find them interesting. Let's see, anything else while we're waiting for the radio room to come back?
Wayne, I forwarded you Patrick's email. He lives in Medford. Yep. Hey, Patrick, I used to live in Central Square in Cambridge for years and years.
Somerville here.
Well, my
All
son.
Right, we definitely have repair hotspots around the US and Europe. I can see emerging from this.
Oh, we are back.
My son lives in Somerville too. Tufts grad, has a soldering iron.
That breakout room died.
Yes.
We were having lots of fun.
Well,
yeah.
Can you tell us what you figured out?
Well, we figured out how to get the radio out of the box.
Now the tubes have to be tested.
That's the hard part at this point. How are you going to test tubes?
Yeah, really.
I
Did
can.
the filaments turn on?
It looks like
No
you
more
probably
tube testers at the
tester on the wall
drugstore.
back there.
Oh, wait a
behind you.
minute. Kathy's in the San Francisco Bay Area. Al Lasher's Electronics.
Yep,
They have a tube tester.
they do, right up in the front of the store.
Wow.
Kathy,
Yeah.
are you hearing this?
Sadly, you need to go in the next month or two because Al may not be there much longer. But
Oh, really? They're
yeah,
not
that's what I
open?
heard. I heard they're gonna have to call it quits in a few months.
Is it still their earthquake retrofit thing happening in the city?
I think it's all manner of problems, but yeah.
Kathy,
Okay, I'm here now. So where do I go?
you will have to pull the tubes out, but mark them so you know which one goes into which socket, because the sockets are the same, but are not interchangeable.
Okay.
And then take it to this place they are mentioning.
Can
And
we
they-
get that place put in the chat?
I'll get it to her. The other thing is I asked Kent, who's our radio expert, tube amplifier expert, to show up today, but he didn't. Maybe Kent can try to help her too.
Yeah,
Okay.
if you want the California Historic Radio Association, I think
Society
they're called.
in Alameda,
Society.
of course.
The California,
Yes.
right,
Yeah.
they're located in Alameda, and they definitely have facilities for testing tubes, and they probably have the replacement tube there too. And they'll,
Oh, wow.
for a small donation, they would probably be very happy to help you out.
Fantastic. So could I just take the radio, since I'm not sure how to unscrew these? Are
You
they
don't,
like-
I would
pull
email
it
them first.
vertically out. Just pull it up vertically.
pull it straight out?
Yep.
Right. I would bring them the whole radio with me. So.
Yeah, I'm a little worried about breaking this.
I think Steve's idea that you contact them and see what they want the state in, but you have some good resources there. It sounds like you're in an excellent place to get this radio actually fixed, so that's lucky. And you got some next steps there, and you also then got some spare parts we heard coming for the sewing machine.
Yes.
Because unluckily you got the wrong parts returned with it. So we heard a bit about that from Cece, but it sounds like that indeed the optimism was warranted from the beginning, that you've got two repairable devices there, and we wish you good luck in the next steps. But yeah, Peter will be in contact then with the resources that were mentioned here. There's also in the chat a link to this California Historical Radio Society there. So if you can pull up the chat, you can get to that link, and then you've got your next step for the repair.
Okay, and did I hear that's closing? Is that what I heard? That's
No, that's a different thing.
It was a different thing. So that's your plan A, and then we've got some plan B and C's too.
Actually, I would make plan B plan A. So the California Historical Radio Society is now in Alameda is a great place. And before the pandemic, they actually used to have radio repair days on Saturday mornings. And so if you just showed up there, you're going to find a whole bunch of old guys, just like you see on this Zoom, who will be dying to help you with that radio.
Wow. But do they have it now during the pandemic?
I don't know, but how long have you had the radio? Why do you care? I mean, wait.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
One day this too shall pass.
Okay. Yeah.
So
okay.
any other reports, any other updates to share with the group? Otherwise, I'm going to put in the chat one last time links from the beginning of today and say, well done, everybody. We had a lot of things open up, a lot of things tried to repair, and a lot of things actually repaired as well. So we repaired the lamp that Kathy had. No, it wasn't Kathy. It was Anna had. We repaired the lamp. We opened her brush. She has some ideas on the brush as well. We've got Kathy's sewing machine and Kathy's radio. Good starts on both of those. We've got spare parts coming for them. Opened up the coffee grinder, saw what's inside, have some ideas on how to fix that. Cole's piano, we also have some ideas on either how to fix it or get it to repurposed in a way. The fans as well, some ideas on how to fix those. So really great job. Any other fixes that I forgot there that anyone remembers? Any other success stories?
Cindy
Otherwise,
speakers.
yep, the speakers, that's right. How could I forget? Cindy speakers, Cindy from New York. We got successful speakers and now doing preventative maintenance for the future, but also caveat on buying red electronics in the future. And what we hope is that you will join our different kinds of groups. We've got Google groups, we've got Discord. You can follow us. So we're on Facebook, different groups, but we're trying to build up a community of fixers. So please join that. And again, really great job on International Repair Day, everyone. It's necessary to have everybody involved. We need participants, we need repairers, and we need people who are eager to learn about this in order to save these resources and put them and use them longer. So thank you all for contributing today. It was a pleasure to host you, and we hope to see you at the next events as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, bye everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
It was so much fun.
Thanks, good. That's what we want to hear.
Don't forget to save the chat in case for some reason I can't save it. Oh, here we go.
I think when I record, I should get a chat too. And Wayne,
Yeah.
you were recording, I was recording. So we had like multiple. And thank you, special shout out to Wayne. Thank you so much for helping me with those breakout rooms.
Yay, Wayne.
Okay. I've got the chat.
Thanks, Wayne.
Yeah.
I was recording in one of the breakout rooms. Do you get the recording or how does it work?
When we end the meeting, it should start recording on your computer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then I send it to you, or to who do I send? The
Yeah,
breakout
if you
room
send it to
recording?
me, then I'll send both of them to Peter. He's the one that collects
Yep.
all.
Actually, I don't care. If you want to upload it to a private link on YouTube and just send me that private, a non-public link that we could, but that people can share, I don't care where it is, as long as we know where it
Okay.
is.
Yeah, so either way, whatever's easiest. Okay, see you all. Good night
Bye.
to the Europeans.
Good
Bye.
So Jessica, you can leave, but Wayne's running the server. Wayne can stay as long as
Exactly.
he wants.
Exactly.
He can
So-
show us his whole thermal fuse collection.
Crazy.
Thank you, Wayne. Thank you for stepping in and doing it. That's amazing.
No, it's
Peter, when do we have the next session?
You'll have to look at the Fixit coaches sign-in thing. I think it's like officially November 14th or something, a Sunday. But the way this has been happening, sometimes they spontaneously come up. I send you an email, you know.
Sure, I know. I just
Yeah.
wondered when it's
Okay,
Fine.
yeah. Soon.
good. Excellent. Take it easy, guys.
Okay, bye, Frank.
Bye.
Bye, thank you.
Okay, Wayne, thank you again.
Yep. All right. I'm just saving a screen grab of that lovely radio. Okay. Cool. All right. We'll see you guys later.
Okay, bye.
Bye.